The hum of announcements echoed through LAX airport as Samantha Reed waited patiently in the long check-in line. Clutching her small leather purse and modest carry-on bag, she looked out of place among the designer handbags and tailored suits. Her outfit was simple, an oversized hoodie, well-worn jeans, and sneakers that had seen better days. When her turn finally came, she approached the Delta counter with a hopeful smile. "Hi, I'm Samantha Reed. My doctor mentioned I should avoid sitting in cramped areas due to my knee issue. Is there any chance I could be moved closer to the front?" The young attendant barely glanced up. His name tag read Tyler. He clicked on his keyboard for a few seconds before scoffing. "Your flying economy. If you wanted better seating, you should have paid for it like everyone else." Samantha's cheeks flushed. I can pay extra now if that helps." Tyler didn't budge. "Sorry, we're full. Next?" Before she could plead further, two uniformed TSA agents appeared. One of them looked sternly at her. "Ma'am, we're going to need you to step aside." "What? Why?" she asked, confused and embarrassed. "Disruptive behavior at the counter," one officer said flatly, escorting her away as passengers behind her whispered and stared. "No, this is a misunderstanding. I just asked a question," she tried to explain, her voice trembling. A woman nearby muttered loud enough for others to hear, "Probably trying to score a free upgrade. People like her always play the victim." Samantha's eyes welled with tears as the TSA guided her toward a side seating area. She sat silently, humiliated. Her flight was now boarding without her. Across the terminal, Logan Carter had just stepped out of a car. Dressed in a sleek navy suit and flanked by his assistant, he moved with the authority of someone who was used to being respected. CEO of one of Silicon Valley's largest AI firms, he was both feared and admired in business circles. As he entered the terminal, he scanned the crowd, then froze. There she was, Samantha, his wife. But she wasn't standing at the gate or boarding their flight. She was off to the side, head down, surrounded by security staff. "Sam," he called, rushing toward her. Her head snapped up. "Logan!" "What happened?" he asked, immediately wrapping his arm around her shoulders. Before she could answer, one TSA agent stepped forward. "Sir, she was removed for making a scene." "She was asking for medical seating," Logan said icily, "and you responded by kicking her out?" People around them began whispering again, this time in shock. "That's Logan Carter. And that's his wife." The TSA officer's confident postures crumbled. Logan narrowed his eyes. "Get your supervisor, now!" Within minutes, the TSA supervisor arrived, flustered and wide-eyed. "Mr. Carter, we had no idea." Logan didn't let him finish. "You didn't need to know who she was. You needed to treat her with basic human decency." Samantha, still shaken, stood beside him as airport staff and passengers watched in awkward silence. "All I asked for was to change my seat," she said softly. "I even offered to pay, but they treated me like I was nothing." Tyler, the check-in attendant, had been summoned too. His expression had gone from smug to pale. I'm sorry, ma'am. I didn't realize." "You didn't care to realize," Logan snapped. "You looked at her clothes and made a judgment." Samantha gently touched his arm. "Logan, it's okay. Let's just go." But Logan wasn't done. "No, Sam. This is exactly what we always talk about. People get treated differently based on how much money they think you have. That's not okay." By now, someone had started recording on their phone. Logan turned to the camera. "I want this to be clear. My wife, who runs a charity for single mothers and never brags about it, was just humiliated for not wearing designer labels. This behavior, it's unacceptable." The video would later go viral. But at that moment, Logan was only focused on one thing, his wife's dignity. The TSA supervisor cleared his throat nervously. "Mr. Carter, please let us make it right. We'll rebook you both in first class, with full concierge service." Logan turned to Samantha. "What do you think?" She smiled slightly. "Only if Tyler walks me to my seat and apologizes along the way." Tyler nodded, humbled. "Of course, Ma'am. I'm truly sorry." As they walked back through the terminal, passengers watched in awe. People who had whispered rude comments earlier now looked away in shame. A few even clapped softly, not because Logan was a billionaire, but because he had stood up for someone they'd all underestimated. Once seated comfortably in first class, Samantha turned to Logan. "Thank you, not for the seat, but for making them see me." Logan took her hand. "You've always been more than enough. They just needed a reminder." Their flight took off as the sun began to set over Los Angeles. Meanwhile, online, the video of the confrontation exploded. Comments poured in. "This is exactly why we should treat everyone with respect. She's a queen, quiet strength and dignity." Logan Carter is more than a CEO. He's a man who gets it. By the time they landed in New York, Samantha's name was trending, but none of that mattered to her because she already had what she needed, a husband who saw her, stood by her, and made sure the world did too.